Hello there, everybody. I've missed you. I'm glad we're back. I need to pull back the audio a little bit. I think I just blew somebody's eardrum out. Sorry about that. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my channel. My name's Gavin. On this channel, we hop into the nitty-gritty of true crime. And if that's what you're into, then you found the right place, and I hope you stick around. Today, I've hemmed and hawed about this. I have hemmed and hawed. You guys know that I am a waffler on a professional level. I waffle with the best of them. On the channel, what I like to do is to create an environment in which we can learn, not just be horrified and talk about terrible cases. Now, we do talk about terrible cases, but I just I want there to be something good to come out of it. And as you guys know, in the past couple of weeks, a lot has come out in terms of documents and now photos in the murders of the four University of Idaho students, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Gonsalves. And I just haven't wanted to really get into the nitty gritty of this stuff because I felt like, you know what, these kids are we don't they can rest. Their families can rest. And so I hemmed and hawed, but late last week, several several pieces of photographic evidence were released. And I thought, you know what? Let's dive into these. In fact, the reason that I decided to do it was I watched Duty Ron, and Ron went over them, and I thought, you know what? He did it respectfully. He did it in a way to teach and learn. Maybe we can do that here on my channel as well. What I'm hoping is that today we can be extremely careful and I guess just sympathetic to the way that the families of these four kiddos might feel right now. We don't want to glorify their murderer. We don't want to just you know what, you guys know what I mean, right? We're not that kind of channel. We want to be better than that, like a lot of channels are, like Ron's, right? So, but before we get into it, guys, did you know Baby Gavin is still missing? Baby Gavin is still missing, and he needs your help to find him. He is a clever little toddler, and he left behind some clues. So if you go to the link down in the description, you can head on over to the website. You can play the game. It's a 20-step clue game where you have to solve some riddles, find some links. It's pretty easy to do. All you do is click that blue button to begin. I do ask for your email address, but it's not to like blast you with emails. It's just so that I can send you the next clue as you solve them. Okay. You ask anybody who's played. I haven't done any of that. I don't do it. We still are at 20 finishers. 20 finishers out of about 420 players. So it's a challenging game, and I hope you play and have a good time. While I've got you over here, if you click over on this little icon right there, that will take you over to the fish tank where we hang out on Facebook. You're always welcome to come and join us over on Facebook. My wife has been posting kind of behind the scenes stuff. This is her with her fancy glasses as we were driving through Portugal. I not like I can tell from the background whether we're in Portugal or Spain. Not that good, but yeah, we took a drive. She humored me, and we rented a car, took a drive up in Spain as we were over in Europe over the summer. So she's been posting some stuff. Uh, yeah, again, yeah, that's embarrassing. Anyway, join us over on the tank, and that's all I'll say about that for now. Okay, what should we do first? I want this. This one's going to be an interactive one, guys. So put GF in your comments so that I can see what it is that you're saying. Anything that you want me to see. Robin likes the color. Yes, it's not quite a match, but I am severely colorblind, so there is that. But see how Robin put that GF in her comment? That is how we communicate here. Dom's mom says waffling is allowed. Robin prefers Eggos. Yes. Okay. So put GF in your comment and I will see it. Let's go on over. Let me push the right button and get to the right spot here. Okay. I don't want to bury the lead. Let's get into the photos. Now, I have not gotten the 200 photos. They have just been obtained by an NBC affiliate in Idaho. They said that most of the photos are blurred and they show pretty graphic information, so they're not releasing those. And good on them. Good on them. So we're not going to be showing any terrible photos tonight. I think we've got 15 or 16. We've got 16 of them. But we can kind of see what's going on here, and they're in no particular order. But I don't know. I should just bring them up. Let's just take a look-see here, okay? And I've got them so that I can kind of zoom up and zoom in on them. What's funny is that hopefully you guys have read the articles that are out there. You might be able to help us with where we are in the house. It does look, I'm zooming up on this. Yeah, I think I do see a little bit of blood there. So this is photo number one, a very typical, to me, young person's room. I am I'm a critical person, and our kids are the most slobbish people ever. They're college age kids, or just above, and I should probably not ride them so much, because looking at these photos, it's about what a young person's room looks like. We can come back to them as I read your comments. We'll just kind of go through these, okay? This one caught my attention because it appears that we've got a little blood on the door here and here. We've got some up here, I believe, and of course, the police photographer took these photos because of this. I just wanted to. Oh, it looks like we've got another one here, but yeah, so the interesting thing about this is it looks directional, right? Like the impact is here, and the blood has gone down, but it has gone down and to the right. You see that on both of those drops? So looks like, and what's interesting is it's so close to that door jamb, but there's still a little bit of movement there over to the right. Up here, where is this one? This one looks like it just went straight on and there wasn't enough movement for it to go down. I'm just going to go through these quickly and then we'll go through them together, okay? Well, I'll take a look at your comments and see. I believe this is Xana's room. I believe it does look like we have some blood falling directly. It looks straight down to me on the floor. I don't see any smears or smudges. Now, I'm not a pro at this, guys. I would say I'm a practiced amateur at looking at crime scene photos, but definitely not a pro. It looks like up here there's more, some here on the bed, over here on the bed as well. Those look like very small drops, and those could even be coughs or something like that from afterwards, because I'm not seeing any cast off or anything like that. How am I, Gavin? Just use your keyboard, man. There we go. This is a similar picture of the same room. It looks like this is where we were looking before. Ah, actually, look. There, right there is where this is that same door. Do you see those right there? That's what we're looking. So the door was open. So the the cast must have come from inside the room, splattered and moved. So it would have come from above and to the right, I guess. It's interesting. Yeah. Right. Keep on going. That's the same room. I think, oops. I think that might be the same. Um, no, it's different. I thought it might be the same as this one, but it looks different to me. Yeah, another blood impact. This was the one that was the most, I guess, the biggest enigma out of all of them. Number one, I can't tell. It looks to me like that's maybe the dining room in the background. And I can't tell if those handprints are on the inside or the outside of the window. Uh, Judging from the state of the vinyl siding, it looks like the outside had not been pressure washed in a long time. These are kids living there. I imagine they're a couple pranksters and jokesters. It could have been on the outside. I don't know. It just was a bit of an enigma to me. This is a picture of the sliding glass door. This would have been the way that Mr. Koberger made his entry into the kitchen. We're in the kitchen area now. I've got a picture of the kitchen. Let me see if I can bring that. I'll do that. Yeah, we'll come to this one next, but um, we can see some footprints in the snow back here. They do have it cordoned off with police tape, though we can't tell how far, like if they just stopped it there, went back to the other fence. On Duty Run, they talked about how there is a process of collecting footprints from snow that captures the footprints, which is pretty cool. Um, this is a picture of the kitchen. So the sliding glass door is off to this side, as I understand it. The refrigerator is about where the photographer appears to be standing. It does look like these are college age kids that are kind of messy and everything. Got fast food and orange juice out, um, old milkshakes and popcorn and like partially used butter, stuff like that. I guess I was like this at one point, guys. I was like this. I should stop being so critical of my children. They're all that way. Um, I'm gonna get to your comments. We're gonna take a look at what you guys have to say. This is one of the bedrooms. I don't know which bedroom it is. It does show one of the kids' bodies. This one appears like there's way more of a struggle. You can tell from the blood casting. If I can just come up here, um, so we've got some cast off up here that is enough blood to run. Um, Come back over here. We're seeing the same kinds of things over here. Let's see if, and I think, yeah, I know there's a very low quality photo, but you can see the, what looks like blood to me seems to be just all over the place, including the carpet, the blanket, the walls. This room was a struggle for sure. Let's go to the next one. I don't think this was part of, the actual murder scene, the crime scene. It just kind of shows the state of the house, right? Um, this is another photo. I'm not sure which door this is. I don't see any evidence of anything. I thought I did on the door there, but maybe not. Yeah. So that may have been one of the roommates. Here are the stairs. Again, this is winter time. Looks like they had a party or something. Um, Not sure what that is. What is that? Yeah, probably a little alcohol container of some sort. And I think there's no, we got a couple more. Again, this is in the common area. And remember, we watched that video that had the whole layout. We might want to watch that again. This is the same area. Yeah, they had beer pong going here. More of the blood splatter. Man, these poor kiddos. Goodness sake. I think I already had this one. Okay, so I know I went through those really quick, but I am curious. I just I'm conflicted about going through this stuff I don't know necessarily what value it is other than, what do we learn from this case? When I was talking about this to my volunteers, um I told them, like, I don't know what value we would be adding. And one of my volunteers was like, well, we talk to our college age kids, and we want them to know that the world can be dangerous, and that, and it's not to victim blame or anything, but we want our kids to know that the world can be dangerous, that there are people out there are predators out there that might come after you, and we've got to learn to stay safe and keep ourselves safe, right? It's these kids did nothing wrong, for sure, but were there things that, or are there things that our children, when placed in the same kind of situation, might be able to learn from this? And that's what kind of swayed me. Let's keep this picture up, and let's go on and see what you guys are saying here. Wow, you guys have a lot to say here. Let's see. Go up to the top here. Okay. Need Some Z's said this is Dylan's room. This was the beginning, so I would imagine that this is probably the one that we're talking about. Where are we going? This is Dylan's room right here. So Dylan was downstairs, is that correct? I can't remember. Guys, this case has been so horrifying to me that I've not wanted to. um I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Dulce Moran says, I think weirdo Brian Koberger uh, did see Dylan, and that's why he sped off from the scene like that. Okay, so photo number one is Dylan's room. All right, so this is Dylan's room. Oh, look at Robin Bernardi. She was way ahead of me. Need Some Z says, these aren't from the forensic photographer. They were taken by a police with his cell phone. I think most of them are. I think you're right, Need Some Z's, but there are some that definitely are from an SLR, well, or it could be mirrorless, but are definitely from a forensic phone. And I'm only saying that because they're using tethered light. So what they do is you can remove a flash. Now they can just do it remotely. They used to have wires, right? They put it on a hot shoe of a camera and give acute angles to the photos, and that's what we're seeing here. That's why we're seeing harsh shadows and bright spots here. Um, I think anyway. I also think that maybe this one is a forensic photo. Um, I don't think any of the others are. They're probably cell phone photos, but that is typical. By the way, that is typical in a crime scene for police to do that. Let me bring this up, but thank you for that comment. Photo number 2 is Maddie's door, then her room. Okay. So this is Maddie's door that has that kind of directional going from up to down and right to left. And then, so this is Maddie Mogan's room here and here. You guys are awesome, Donna Joe. Thank you. And Jen says those are Maddie's boots. And I think we get a better view of those right there. They look like they're Doc's. Yeah. Man. Okay. Need some Z's, the room with the Doc Martens or Maddie's room. I remember when I was a kid in high school, I thought that Doc Martens was something that our generation discovered and made popular. Hey, look at these Docs. You guys can't believe it. No, they are just timeless. So every generation loves them. They had a Halloween party not long before. I think that's where they're from. Oh, sprayed around hands. I see. Okay. So they used, some of the decorative spray to do the Halloween party. Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't look like there are any like ridges or anything like that. Of course, this is all low resolution for us, but yeah, just looks very dirty. But good comment. Thanks, Beach Fairy. Need some Z's. The handprints on the window are not related to the crimes, in my opinion. To me, it looks like a dusty window, and that is the kitchen. To me, a friend prancing someone into the kitchen. So that table is kind of behind the kitchen, kind of where the person is standing. The photographer is standing here, I guess. Yeah, okay. It's good. Heather says, Gavin, it didn't snow until the next day. I remember, although I watch weather and I don't live here, it struck me as interesting at the time. Dry leaves. Let's look at that. Man, you guys are on top of things. Goodness sake. So the snow didn't occur. So those footprints could have been police or someone else. That's what you're saying. In fact, trying to just look at this real quick. This is all such low resolution. But yeah, you can see some heading away and then some heading back. That possibly could just be from the person that tied up the crime scene tape, maybe. Interesting. Yeah, just it's not much snow. Great comment, Heather. Thank you. Laura says the brown bag is Xana's Jack in the Box food that the DoorDash driver Molly dropped off. This right here, Jack in the Box, Jacques and Le Carton. Man, sometimes I miss living in the West. Jack in the Box. Have you had Jack in the Box's poo tacos? That's what my brother calls them. Calls them poo tacos. Apparently they're delicious, but since he always calls them poo tacos, I can't have them. I'm mental that way. So that was there from the driver just before Koberger went in and murdered these kids. Helena says that is where the dog is hiding. Oh, let's see. I missed the dog. Yeah, help me with the pictures. Like, make a description of the photos. Is it? Oh, you're. Well, look at that. Holy cow! There is the dogo or la doga, whichever. La perrita, el perro. I always say dogo and doga because there is a breed called Dogo Argentino. I don't know why I do that. Just just always do. That is where the dog is hiding. Helena, thank you very much. Need Some Z's says the struggle combined with the strategic specific wounds to some of them suggests to me a minimum of two perps. One struggles to control Xana, for example, minor injuries, than the mortal injuries. Hmm. Is that a theory that people have that there's more than one suspect here, more than one perpetrator? Um, let's go back to it. Just refreshed. Sorry, give me a second. Uh, could that be where the blood ran down the outside wall? I wasn't sure that was. Somebody help me remember if that actually did happen. I remember him saying that, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna read a report here in just a second. Let's go through your comments first, though. Need Some Z says, Gavin, in my opinion, the value of looking at these photos is to compare the scene to what law enforcement and the DA told the public, as well as what was used to arrest someone, leaving guilt or innocence. Well, yeah, thank you. That man, you thought that through way better than I did. I struggle with this because um, I just don't want to. I don't want to be like a horror pornographer. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to just show gratuitous things for the sake of the gratuity. I like there to be value in it. Uh, so yeah, and but I also lean like I always tend to favor transparency in things. It's just that these are four kids, Really, I mean, there are four murder victims, kids. Then there are probably dozens of other kids that have been victimized by this crime happening near them or to people that they love, right? I mean, we listen to the victim impact statements, and my goodness, there are just so many victims here. But yeah, the transparency is important for exactly what you're saying there. Need Some C's. Thank you, Susan Lewis. Same thing with school. Those who knew that when we were in high school that would even be a thing, but now it's important knowledge to have. Yeah, hearkening back to, in fact, Susan, I think it was you, right? I think it was you in Slack that was talking about that, and it made me think about it. Talking about, letting our kids know what the dangers are and being prepared for those kinds of things. I honestly don't think that there was anything that these kiddos could have done. Well, that's unfair. I think there was plenty that could have been done in hindsight, but with knowing what they knew, I I I think that they had a predator that was stalking them, that was hell bent on killing them, and it was going to be very difficult to stop it, whether they knew it was coming or not. So they have no blame, obviously, in any of this. But you're right. We need to have our kiddos prepared for the dangers of the world. We don't want to scare them, frighten them into paralysis, but we definitely need to do that. Cooler by the Lake says, I think you can teach awareness without dwelling on grisly crime scene photos. That said, I'm surprised how little blood there was in these pictures. You know, one of the things that I learned, and of course, every crime scene is different, But one of the things that I learned in the Ellen Greenberg case is that uh, knife wounds, it's not, you know, I'm trying not to be gory and graphic, but it's not like the movies. And with a knife wound, especially when the heart loses pressure, yeah, there's just not a lot of blood. Most of it ends up inside, or can. I mean, of course, there can be very bloody scenes depending on how what is done. But um, yeah, learning from the Ellen Greenberg case, it's the same way. Very little blood to an amateur or to amateurs like us. To professionals, they're like, yeah, that's about right. Heather says, you are kind to your chat. Unique. Oh, well, thank you. Well, chat is where we're at, where it's at, man. Las Vegas Medi Pedi Center and Spa. Little plug for you there. Gavin, I just have the feeling this guy killed before, only this time he got caught. You know, it's possible. And sure, yeah, it's absolutely possible. I think that there are a lot of people out there that kill and don't get caught. Um, yeah, I, I don't disagree at all. Yeah, a couple things here. They were just kids being kids. Exactly. Exactly. One man's trash. This just hurts me so bad. Yeah. The victim shared a house. How did he think he would not encounter other people? Yeah. I hope someday that we get a straight answer out of Mr. Koberger. I don't know how honest it will be, and how will we be able to tell that he's being honest? I don't know. Um, Beach Fairy says you can see drips coming down from the handprints like a spray rather than dust or powder. Let me go to those again real quick. Yeah, you're right. There's like yeah, you're right. It does look like a spray. I agree with you. I completely agree. Um, hey, Mooney's taking care of everybody. Thanks, Mooney. Susan's taking care of everybody. Thank you, Susan. Goodness sakes. You guys are amazing. Um, Something to talk about with Broken Justice says, Gavin, they found footprints in the snow. Okay, so we're getting conflicting information. Let me go to let's go to that picture real quick. Let's find out what, because it was well, I don't know. The I don't know. To me, it looks like that footprint went directly out to that stump and then back as if to tie off a police line, do not cross. But it's possible that, yeah, I'm not sure of the weather pattern. Thank you for the comment. Let's see a couple more before we go. Words Bloom says 4 people were butchered in that house with a total of about 100 stab wounds. That place would be covered in blood everywhere. These can't be the real crime photos. I disagree. I just disagree. Like, I know in the Ellen Greenberg case that there were 20 stab wounds in that kitchen, and it looked very similar to this. But I disagree respectfully. Thank you for your comment. We're not seeing all the crime scene photos. It sounds horrific and it has been covered up by the defense. I will put in my own public records request for them, because, well, actually, this comment says it. There has been 200 photos released, but I'm seeing the same photos everywhere. Are we going to get to see more? Here's the deal. Only one outlet has gotten them so far. I will put in a public records request so that I can have them for myself, and then I will decide whether or not I will share any others. But the ones that I got for you to show today, I got from other news outlets. But great comment. Need some Z's. You've never done anything. Yeah, I just try really hard. Thank you. And thank you for recognizing that. Is it possible that some of these pictures were taken after the bodies were removed? It's possible. I don't know the timeline, Robin. Where is Maddie in the crime scene photo of her room? You can see Kaylee on bed, but no Maddie. Documents say she was lying right next to Kaylee. I think it's just out of frame. Let me go over and pull them up here. Yeah, it's probably just out of frame or after the victims were removed. Yeah. Thank you for the comment. I'm bringing this back up. Okay. All right. I think we're in a good place now. Gavin, but then why did police talk about such a grisly scene with rivers of blood? I think we're just not seeing those ones yet, or it's subjective to your experience, right? My experience is watching Dexter and seeing like gory movies, but a police officer's experience is something very different, right? It's like even in shootings, sometimes those crime scene photos, you think, holy cow, that person took 3 rounds, and where is all the blood? Um, it yeah. It In my experience, I'm trying to think of the crime scene photos that I have. Ellen definitely. David, I've seen that wasn't a shooting or a stabbing. Um, now Shelby Thornburg. There was a lot of blood on Shelby Thornburg, but she was laying face down on a bed with her head hanging over, and she was murdered like this. So there was a lot there. Um, yeah, like I'm thinking of the ones that I have. The Shelby is the only one where I would say pools of blood. Uh, Linda says, Gavin, there's camera footage from the neighbor's door cams or security cameras that snow is on the parking area. It was still dark outside. Okay. So, and I have watched part of those. I didn't clock that. So good job. Okay. So one man's trash. When the heart stops beating, the blood no longer pumps out hard. That's correct. Yeah. That's what happens. So what it does is it follows gravity. So say I get stabbed 20 times in my chest and torso. As soon as the heart is punctured, first off, if I'm laying down, there typically isn't enough for it to exit the body with force. It will bleed, but then most of it will then just follow gravity and it will pull down, like in that case, along my back, right? Just follow gravity. So there wouldn't be that much blood. The blood itself would be inside the chest cavity, right? Um, Beach Fairy says, well, if that photo that came out early on of something running down the house foundation was blood, yeah, they're definitely not showing that area. Quite understandably. Okay. Um, let's, while we're together, I've decided to go ahead and share with you guys this document, okay? These documents, by the way, are available online for free from the Moscow police. There are, I don't know, 100 different reports, 150 different reports. Let me see. No, there are there are 314. reports. So, I mean, it is the amount of reporting on this that you can go through is copious. And if you have gone through it yourself and you would like us to look at a particular report, let us know in the comments. Tell me which supplemental it is or main report it is. And if there's something that you think is important that we should talk about, maybe we'll do that while we're together. Okay, so this is the general narrative report. It starts with just a whole bunch of timestamps, things, and then it gets into this. Okay, so I just want to come down to the narrative, and this is not long. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 11:56 a.m., MPD officers responded to an unconscious call. The RP, the reported in person, later identified as BF, reported her roommate was passed out, not conscious, and not breathing. Now, this is an indication to me that she didn't see blood. And clocking is the right word. Maybe she didn't clock it. Maybe she was overwhelmed, right? Not quite sure what she's seeing. Not all of us see this on the daily, right? Most of us never do. Officer Nunez, who was already on scene, advised of a likely homicide and asked for additional units. While I was en route, Officer Nunez advised Nunez, I don't know how he pronounces it, advised he had located 2 additional victims. The victims were later identified as Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan. Moscow EMS was asked to stage and not respond to the scene unless requested. Upon arrival, I saw H.J. crouching near the entrance to 1122 King Road. Jay was in obvious emotional distress. I entered through the first floor door, which faces north towards the parking lot. I announced myself as a Moscow police officer and heard officers Nunez and Warner respond from upstairs. When I got to the second floor, I saw a female covered in blood in the bedroom on the northwest side of the second floor. I believe this female to be Xana. I looked inside the bedroom Xana was laying, and it was obvious an intense struggle had occurred. Xana was obviously deceased. There was blood smeared on various items in the room and all over the floor. There was blood cast off on the walls in various places, including above Xana's body. Xana was on her back on the floor in the center of the room with her head towards the west. Xana was in her underwear and a long-sleeved gray shirt. Both her shirt and underwear were covered in blood. Xana's face and body was covered in dry blood. I could see what appeared to be defensive knife wounds on Xana's hands. There was a deep gash on Xana's left hand between her pointer finger and thumb. A partially covered male was on the bed and also obviously deceased. I believe this male to be Ethan. The midsection of Ethan's body was covered with a blanket. Ethan's head wasn't visible and appeared to be between the bed and the south wall. There was some blood cast off and what appeared to be arterial blood spray above where Ethan's head was located. I proceeded upstairs to the third floor where I met Officers Nunez and Warner. Officers Nunez and Warner advised the residence was clear of any additional people. There was a dog belonging to Kaylee in the third floor west bedroom, which has access to a third floor deck. The deck has no exterior access to the ground level. I asked Corporal Snyder to cordon off the area and Officer Nunez to start identifying the subjects that were on scene when he arrived. I asked Officer Warner to start a crime scene log at the front entrance. Once Officer Smith arrived on scene, I asked him to stand guard at the kitchen sliding door, which I later learned was ajar upon arrival. On the third floor, I went to the southeast bedroom where Officers Nunez and Warner advised they found 2 females, who I believe to be Kaylee and Madison. Both females were obviously deceased. I observed Kaylee lying on the north side of the bed and Madison lying on the south side of the bed with their heads toward the east. Kaylee and Madison were covered by a pink blanket, which was covered in blood. There was a large pool of blood near Kaylee's midsection. There was blood cast off on the east and north walls above Kaylee and Madison. Madison appears to be laying up against Kaylee. Madison had what appeared to be wounds to her forearm and hands. Madison had a gash under her right eye, which appeared to go from the corner of her eye to her nose. Kaylee was unrecognizable as her facial structure was extremely damaged. Goodness. I asked Officer Nunez to close the door to the bedroom so the dog did not try to disturb the scene. Other than that action, MPD patrol officers left the scene as it was found. I later confirmed with Officer Nunez that no EMS personnel entered prior to my arrival. I contacted Captain Barrett and advised him of the situation. Captain Barrett said he would activate detectives and get more resources en route. Once Detective Sergeant Lawrence arrived on scene, he requested one of the responding patrol officers begin writing a search warrant, which was assigned to Officer Nunez. Corporal Snyder was assigned to take initial photos of the scene, while Officer Smith and Warner remained as security at both entrances. I collected the dog from the third floor and took it outside. LCSO Deputy Olson transported the dog to the Humane Society on my behalf. Officer Nunez was interviewing a large group of individuals which were associated with the residents. Officer Nunez asked that I finish getting contact information for the individuals. I contacted and later added the following names to this call, and then redacted. Once those individuals' names were collected, they responded to the MPD to be interviewed by detectives. I assisted with a canvass of the area and was assigned the southernmost apartments at Queen Road. I contacted the residents following apartments whom claimed they did not hear anything, redacted. I attempted contact at the following apartments with no response, number and number. There is no apartment number or number. I remained associated with the call and assisted the scene security until approximately 1800 hours. Photos were attached. There's some follow-up, and that is S. Gunderson stating that. Now, like I said, there are 314 reports in that file. If you think that we should go over anyone in particular, because I haven't gone through all of them, I would not mind your input. I would love it, actually. Donna Jo says, there's one photo that has blood on a pillow, blood spatter on a wall, and a pool of blood on the comforter with a blurred out spot to the right of the picture. Let me find that one. Let's see. To the right of the picture. I guess I don't. I have ones on the left. In fact, it talked about the pink blanket, so. So yeah, I mean, it's probably out of view, but yeah, that's definitely spray up there. That's cast off. There's probably some out of view up here. There's a lot in this one. This one definitely is a lot. Not sure if that you said to the right, the blurred out spot to the right. I guess I don't have that photo. It's the only other one I have is this one, which is the same room. Yeah. All right. Oh, I didn't show your comment, Donna Jo. Sorry about that. Michelle says he was controlled and calculating, not raging. That explains the blood splatter, possibly. Could be. Could be. Autumn sent me a picture. Okay, let me give me a second, guys. Let me grab this real quick. Oh yeah, okay. So it's low res, but we're gonna. Let's see if I can get it into the same window here. I mean, that looks like blood to me. Doesn't look like I mean, if I were a landlord and my house foundation had that on it and it wasn't blood, I would cover it up with some sort of mastic or paint or something. So yeah, thanks for sending that, Autumn. Is there one other one that you sent? No. Okay. Yeah, thanks for sending that on. Um, no, he is already confessed and pleaded guilty, and DP is off the table. Cole Jackal wasn't the roommate boyfriend kept from seeing the scene by the male friend. She never got a chance to see blood. I I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Blood spatter. Sorry. Thank you. No, we don't want disappointment on behalf of Joseph. We don't want. I can't handle Joseph's disappointment. We don't want that. Um, that blurred out image is Ethan in Xana's room. Says Sherles. I think we're talking about this room here. Yeah. A couple more. We've got a little more time here. Yeah, let's do that, Mooney. Let's throw up a poll here real quick. Um, do you want me to cover more of the Koberger documents on the channel? Here's the poll. Here it comes, everybody. Tell me what you want to do because there are 314 reports. We could spend a lot of time on them. Spend a lot of time on them. Just keep going here. Oh, I see. Patty. Okay. I heard today, Nancy Grace, with a lawyer on that the feds might seek the DP because Koberger had crossed state lines. Let's see. That would, I mean, what would that charge be? Would it be concealing, well, fleeing? Yeah, there might be a federal charge in there, sure. In the commission of a murder. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't catch it on the previous comment. Sorry about that. Um, Judy Studio says the pic with the blood outside is Xana's room where the headboard was to the wall where Ethan would have been in the bed. Okay. Yeah. So what do we have as far as looks like we're at about 87% yes, 88% yes, 12% no. This is not a scientific poll here, everybody. It's just a quick poll. So yeah, 9 out of 10 of you say yes. Okay. I just we're gonna have to be careful. We want to be respectful of these kids and their families. Is there man, just look at them. Just look at them with their whole lives ahead. Mm, just kills me. So much potential, and in a time in their lives where they're just should have been able to have fun, seek their education, make great memories, and go on with their lives. Ah, just tragic. Just tragic. You're just pulling our leg. But I appreciate how you misspelled R too. That was really good. That was really good. All right, guys. So yeah, all right. I guess I guess we will do more on this case for education purposes. Maybe we can get maybe this is a good case to get Joseph on. I will reach out. I keep saying I will reach out. I will reach out and maybe we can talk with Joseph. And in the meantime, I will put in a public records request and see if I can get more of those images. Not saying that I'll show all of them, but I will try to get them. Okay. Hey, don't forget, as we're wrapping it up for tonight, that baby Gavin is still missing. Baby Gavin is still missing. That's number one. Number two, join us on the fish tank. Number three, you guys know I have a whole true crime news website called Crime Cod. Check it out. If you go to gavinfish.com, you'll see on the front page the latest Crime Cod articles. But, I mean, or you could just go to Crime Cod every day. You could do that. It's up to you. You're invited, okay? And the fourth thing that I will say, have you guys noticed how hard our mods work, including contacting me during a live to get me more photos to share with you? That was Autumn, our lead mod. If you go over to the support me link on my menu, scroll on down to the bottom, you can buy our lead moderator, Autumn, a coffee. And I will say, she would never say this, but she does a lot more for this channel than just she does more than just moderate and lead the moderating crew. She does a lot. So I invite you to support Autumn if you would buy her a coffee. She would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. We'd all appreciate that. Guys, with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this or not. Hey, you guys know, for those of you that are sticking around to the end, okay, you guys know that Joel Waldman is a friend of mine. He has a channel called Surviving the Survivor. We met through YouTube. We never knew each other before YouTube. Joel is a friend of mine, and his mother, Carm, is one of my heroes. Well, Carm was attacked in the last few days by Aidan Kearney, calling her basically a non-Holocaust survivor. And I thought it was ridiculous, just completely crossing the line, completely inappropriate what he said. And I came to his defense, and I wrote a blog post, and I included the video where he actually said what he said. Head on over to my website, click on the blog, and read it if you want. But I just want you guys to know that I stand firmly behind Joel and Carm. Carm is a hero. She was saved by heroes, and she was one of about 1.5 million children who survived the Holocaust of the 1940s. And I just deeply appreciate her, people like her, the people that helped save her. And she did it as a child. She's 4 years old. So, yeah, guys, go read that if you want to. I shared it on Twitter, and of course, Aidan and, well, I should say Kearney and his minions are attacking me for it, but I just don't even care. I'm with Joel. If you've never seen Surviving the Survivor, just here on YouTube, search Surviving the Survivor. Go to his channel. It's amazing. His channel, his format is guests, and that's how we met each other. I've been a guest on his show a few times. But please, yeah, go subscribe to him. Buy his book. Buy his book, Surviving the Survivor. It's actually, I haven't read it yet, but buy it and donate it to the library. And yeah, I need to read my copy. Haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So guys, yeah, just please, let's all be good people. Let's not attack others. Let's just be good people. I'm preaching to the choir here, right? You guys are all good. All right, with that, I will bid you adieu, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.